How are you after the travel odyssey yesterday morning, whenever it was? And when did you start first to realize that we're going to be on this plane a lot longer than we originally thought?
I think at times it's different when you're surrounded by, I was sitting next to FP on the plane and you're with your coworkers, so you're all kind of hanging out and playing card games. We were streaming Game of Thrones, right? So you're not really focused too much on, you're just thinking, okay, delay. And then probably about 10 o'clock, we're all starting to think, whoa, what's going on? And that's when we found out we might be taking off around 1:30 in the morning. And unfortunately, that never transpired. So we went back to the hotel about 3:30, got some sleep, went back to the bus on 9:30, and then took off around 10:45 yesterday.
What's that like? Because I've been stuck on a tarmac before, but it's like a commercial flight, so it's a totally different experience, and only for like an hour or so. And I damn near had an anxiety attack because they're not cranking the AC. They're trying to save the gas or whatever. You get hot. Now this is a chartered plane, so I'm assuming it was a lot more comfortable.
Right. And I feel like I'm going to lose any sort of sympathy by saying this, but when you're surrounded by, as many snacks and drinks and whatever you need and you're with everybody right, around you, it's a little bit of a different situation. Now, granted, at the same time, you're sitting on a tarmac for 8 hours, so pretty unreal. That was crazy. But everybody was in good spirits, and that was one thing. You heard David Martinez talk about it yesterday. No, not one person complained. It was just another
really. All we would have done is complain.
There had to be at least one player, one team official that was really uncomfortable with it.
No, everybody was kind of just laughing. I think, Adam Eaton was pretty cool talking about it yesterday. He goes, geez, we've been playing so poorly, and the focus has been on that. And this was something that we could all kind of look at each other and laugh and loosen up a bit. And maybe we needed something silly, like stupid like this to happen, that you're kind of focused on that. And but no, I loved it. Apparently, Joe Ross turned to Adam Eaton, and he fell asleep right when everyone boarded the plane, woke up 2 hours later, and was like, this was the best flight I was ever on. And they turned to him, and they go, Joe, we never even took off.
Did anybody just sleep, like catch up on sleep?
I don't think so. Joe was probably the lone wolf in his 2 hours of sleep. I wish I had done that, but it's hindsight's everything.
Did you have a bad vibe on the game last night based on what they had to deal with leading up to it?
No, they were all. Gosh, I saw Wilmer Defoe in the lobby. He was like, I just had a coffee and burger and salad. I'm good to go. And then he was all fired up, and Sean Doolittle said this would be a cool story if we could come away with this and win. And they were in the game. And despite of everything, they were in it. You all saw what happened there in the seventh inning. But there was, as far as the energy and mindset, they were all ready to play. I think today's going to be probably the biggest question mark as far as, how it is. The next day is when all of a sudden you haven't slept right or things like that, it carries over.
Is there a noticeable change with the new pitching coach? I was listening to the game last night. He seems to go to the mound a little quicker.
Yes, I love that you said that. He's very all about his relationships with his pitchers, and whether he is making more mound visits to talk with them, talking with them in the dugout. I would say maybe more hands-on in the sense, but also he really prides himself on what does the pitcher want the relationship to be like, but that's something that they've talked about with Paul Menhart in the organization, just his relationship building and the way he gets to know each pitcher really on a personal level.
All right, so what is sort of your take on the status of the team right now? Everyone just wants to fire Dave, starting to, Rizzo. But my stance has been, I think Jason's with me. We haven't seen this team yet, right? They have, Trey got hurt whenever it was the fourth game, and then the injuries have snowballed since there. I guess other teams have had plenty of injuries. Everyone points to the Yankees. They're obviously deeper. They're playing better. But I feel like we haven't seen this team at full strength yet, and it's hard to evaluate them.
Yeah, EB, I mean, great point. You look at it, what other team, and you're right, you point to the Yankees, but any other team that in the past, I don't know, decade, even more than that you've seen 2 through 6 hitters, I mean, 4 of their 8 everyday starters not in the lineup, and it's difficult to build continuity around that. With that said, I mean, nobody's making excuses for it, but no, certainly, I mean, it's not the start. It's a frustrating start to the season, but it's not having an effect on as far as their feelings every day to come out with the same goal and win. Now going 14-20, it's a task to get to 500, and you don't want to fall too far behind. But I think the good news is you have Anthony Rendon eligible to come back today. They're going to start getting healthy. We'll see if he does. Martinez said as long as there's no setbacks for Rendon, he should be back in the lineup. So it's going to be, and hopefully, knock on wood, sooner. Yeah, it's tough to have continuity out of the gates when you don't have your main horses, right? But with that said, you saw they've been in the game every night. They're still in the thick of things. I mean, we were all pumped to see the Mets, Braves, and Phillies all lost last night. So they just, you don't want to fall too far back now.
How do you evaluate Davey? Because everyone's just crushing him.
Oh, gosh. It's easy to play, right? I mean, I wish I could go on Twitter sometimes and crush everybody else. But, no, he is such a positive person. He's so amazing. The players, the clubhouse, they love him. He's great to us. So, you see him on a different scale. I can't imagine being in his shoes right now, right? I don't think any of us could, where half your team is injured and things have been inconsistent to start the season, but he's stayed constant. And every night, he's on to the next game. And I think that's all you can ask out of your manager, somebody that's really positive and looking to find different ways to win.